How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we gotta talk about yet another attack on Trump supporters from leftist lunatic nut jobs, this time in Hobart, Indiana, which is not very far from Gary, Indiana, which is in the Chicago metro area, what they call Chicagoland. Now, I'm kind of confused because I thought that Chicago was MAGA country. That's what a certain somebody told me last year. Remember that? What was the guy's name? Jussie Smollett, Juicy Smouye, aka Gay Tupac. Remember that? Talking about these two white guys came out of the shadows and 1,000 degrees below zero with bleach and a rope and MAGA hats and all kind of stuff, just butt kicking equipment, right? Talking about this is MAGA country. That's what I was told last year. But according to what I've just seen in this particular incident in Hobart, Indiana, I can't tell if that's true or false. Let's get to the incident. These two shining beacons of success that I'll place on the screen before you were in their car riding around, and they see two twin boys riding their bicycles, not bikes as in motorcycles, bicycles with Trump flags on the back. They see them and then they run up on them and run them off the road. Meanwhile, the guy that you saw, Mr. 3000 IQ, he gets out of the vehicle and records the entire thing on Snapchat. And of course, the police do have that, and they were able to see what was going on and what he said. He's talking about, oh, y'all scared like y'all president. America was never great, expletive, all kind of just stuff because he's triggered about this particular flag. Now, luckily, these two rocket scientists did get arrested. They've been charged with a variety of things, some felonies, misdemeanors and whatnot. And if you want to see those charges, I'll link those in the box. But I'm glad that someone has been arrested here because I've seen cases where nobody gets arrested. You go to the left coast, you know, people get beat up, stuff thrown on them, and it's not really a big deal. Okay, it's just like whatever. But getting back to Hobart, I mean, what is the problem? Okay, you see these boys with Trump flags on the back of their bike. What are you doing by running off the road? You want to try to hurt them? Because he could have easily just run them over with his car and somebody's ended up dead all over a Trump flag, a Trump hat. What's really the problem? People say, oh, y'all crying, y'all complaining. Some people on the left, some on the right, y'all crying and complaining. What are you going to do? I mean, these are young boys. I'm not sure how old they were. All I've read, it just says teen. It doesn't say how old. It could be 13 or 14. What are you going to do when you're riding your bike down the street and you get run off the road? You know, can I have a gun at 13 years old to protect myself? You know, I know if I'm out there and I got certain things that may be triggering to some people, I'm going to protect myself however I see fit. But these young boys, what are they going to do? Just not have the stuff, just not wear whatever they want to wear. And really, this is not going to help the cause of the left. All it's going to do is just make us galvanize around these boys and around each other more. I've seen so much violence from the left is not even funny. It's really kind of dangerous. And like I've said in previous videos, recently, you're going to see more episodes like this, unfortunately. I pray that we don't see anything like this. I pray that these boys are safe and everything's good and they won't be bothered again. But I see more things like this happening. You'll see more hoaxes or attempts at hoaxes from the left, like Juicy Smouye last year in Chicago. More real things like this one here. People actually got arrested instantly. I mean, the whole thing was on Snapchat. It wasn't a hoax, but you may see more things like this. And all it's going to do, like I said, is just galvanize the base that supports anybody on the right more. Then they want to try to put Bernie Sanders in there. It's like, what are you doing? The Bernie bros? Have you seen what they're capable of doing? Keith Ellison got on Twitter and put his foot square into his mouth talking about, oh, well, Bernie bros aren't that bad. Show me one example of when a Bernie bro acted violently, and then Steve Scalise, who got shot and almost killed by a Bernie bro, came out and said, I can think of one case, epic burn, total, no response. You couldn't say nothing. Thank God for the officers that were right there. Thank God for guns being able to save the day. This guy had a hit list and he intended to kill everybody at the softball practice. Luckily, he was not able to do it. This is not what Trump supporters do. We're all about peace, positivity. You may have some weirdos that talk kind of strange online, but I've never seen anybody go out there and try to hurt people or run them off the road because they got on a Obama hat or a Bernie hat. Nobody does that. Back when Obama was the president for 8 years, this type of thing wasn't going on. Nobody was going out there getting beat in the head for having an Obama hat or shirt or anything like that. Some are going to say, oh, Obama wasn't divisive. Yes, he was divisive. Remember the whole Black Lives Matter kerfuffle? Remember the whole Skip Gates kerfuffle talking about the police acted stupidly? Trayvon Martin could be my son. Black Lives Matter, you're doing a very good job as they're actively burning the country. Remember all of that? Yet and still, if you had on an Obama shirt and an Obama hat, nobody really harassed you. It was not a big deal. But now, all of a sudden, with Trump, it's a big deal. I blame, in part, the mainstream media because they're in bed with the politicians on the left and some on the right who don't want Trump in there because he can't be controlled. Therefore, they're going to spin this whole narrative about him being the worst thing on earth for a very long time. Before he ran and became the president, there was never anything bad said about him. It was all positive. You know, people talking about he's racist, he's sexist, all that and the third. None of that was a case before 2015 when he said he was going to run. But now all of a sudden, he's the worst thing in the world. It's empowering people like the two brain surgeons I showed you before to go out here and run these teams off the road. As I close, I want to say this. I think when you have a politically motivated crime, it should be elevated to a hate crime. It don't matter if it's left, right, or whatever. If somebody gets beat up because they're a Bernie supporter, Obama supporter, Trump supporter, or whatever, it should elevate to a hate crime. Why not? Or let's just eliminate hate crimes altogether and just have everything be the same. Let's not put certain crimes based upon your ideology, your identification, your belief, and whatnot above others. If we're going to have certain crimes based upon your religion, your ideology, your sexuality, or whatever at a higher level, let's have them all or have none. Very simple. But something's got to be done with stuff like this. I think the media could just back off and stop tripping because what they're doing is not helping. It's making things worse. It makes them look bad when they go out here and they put a story out that's salacious, that's false a lot of times, and then it empowers somebody to go out here and do something to somebody. It makes them look bad. Although they won't try to put the blame on themselves, they'll try to absolve themselves of any kind of blame, any kind of responsibility. People like myself and many others are not going to let them get off scot-free. We're going to hold their feet to the fire. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Who do you think is responsible for what happened? Just the two numbskulls I showed you earlier? Is there a deeper thing going on? How is the tension where you live as far as the Trump supporters versus Bernie versus anybody on the left? Is it bad? Where I'm at out here is not really a bad thing. I'm in the South, so it's pretty chill. Everybody gets along. It don't matter if you left, right, center, black, white. Everybody's cool. You know, everybody's real hospitable down here as it is in the South. But I see some stuff coming from like Chicago, New York, LA. It's kind of scary. It really is. This is part of the reason why I would not want to live in a big liberal area like that. I come visit, see the sites, talk to people and whatnot, but living there, that's a whole different story. How do you think this case will be handled in the eyes of the mainstream media? How are they going to really spin it? Because if this were the other way around, let it have been two black boys. I don't know their race, so I'm just kind of guessing. They might have been white, but let's just say it was two black boys with Obama flags on their bicycles being run over by a guy with a Trump flag on the back of his truck. What would the reaction be? This would be the same thing as Charlottesville. They talk about it every day. It'd be the worst thing in the world. It's funny how one side of the aisle gets treated differently than the other. If we're going to have crimes like this be examined and scrutinized, then let's have it be done evenly and not be scrutinized based upon the scrutinizer's political preferences and bias. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.